हेलो फ्रेंड, आप कहाँ के हो? कहाँ के रहने वाले हो? वे आर यू फ्रॉम? So we have two attendees who are attending the class Could you please elaborate about yourself? You are from which state? Okay, we are from, so I can't see the answer you have given. So there are only two attendees. I think I should wait for more. So let them be. I will give you 2-3 minutes time. If you can call your attendees, it will be great. If not, I will wait for 2-3 more minutes. Any questions if you have, do ask this. Any question means any question related to topic or not related to topic. Should I start the class or should I not? Hello, one more has joined. So in all, there are four participants who have joined the class. So should I start the class or should I wait? I'm waiting for your answer. One more has joined. Five attendees have come. So should I start the class? Please reply on the chat box what you want to do. Six attendees have come. Should I start the class? Okay, I am starting the class. So the in the last class we have understood the various categories the depreciation should be charged. Now depreciation is to be broken up into 11, 12 categories. So depreciation is provided and charged in the books of accounts by various methods. For example, straight line method and declining balance method are the two methods which are more often than used. So you will find that most of the companies you are visited are following these SLM basis or all the WDV basis. SLM is straight line or WDV is written down value method. So most of these companies are following the SLM method or the WDV method. And out of 100, you will also be finding one or two or three companies following the reevaluation method. Rest methods are there, but they are based on theory and some questions may be asked, but they are practically not much in use. So first is fixed installment method, also called as straight line method. So there the installment is fixed. Installment means what the amount you give to the outsider, that is called as installment. So fixed installment means that the method is straight line. Okay. Second is diminishing balance method, reducing balance method. On every entry you pass, the balance reduces and the depreciation is also lesser. Okay. Third is what you call as annuity. There, instead of accruing the depreciation, you charge the annuity to the P&L. So what you do is you debit the annuity amount to the P&L. Fourth is insurance policy. Like the insurance policy you have taken, assume that you have taken an insurance policy of 1 lakh machine. So every year 10,000 will be deducted, and for 10 years this is the machine will write down to value 0. Okay. Fifth is sinking fund. Sinking fund is a balance method. So thereby you maintain a sinking fund. Whatever is the amount, you debit to the P&L, and by the end of the insurance period, 10 years or 15 years, you will be getting the balance from the sinking fund. So, for example, you are writing off the value of the asset over 10 years or over 15 years, depending upon the asset, depending upon the useful life. There you will write off the annuity, and that annuity is debited to the P&L. And by the time the asset is ready to be written off, you have the money. But the important point is in annuity method, you have to contribute based on the annuity table. So there is an annuity table. For example, the asset is worth 1 lakh rupees. Asset useful life is 4 years. So ideally the depreciation should be 25,000 per year. But annuity table at 6% or 7% will say that the 1 rupee over 4 years or 5 years will become, sorry, 80 paise or 90 paise will become 1 rupee after 4 years or 5 years at XYZ interest. Okay. So revaluation method. This is another method which is used. So in this, the depreciation is not calculated. Depreciation is whatever you will revalue based on the market. Suppose you are dealing in gold, or you are dealing in diamond, or you are dealing in silver. So the assets you sold, sale, opening stock plus assets sold minus closing stock. So closing stock value you will deduct by taking the market value into the quantity. So revaluation method is taking the value by the market. That is revaluation. Machine hour rate. Here machine is limited. Machine has a limited life. Its life is 1 lakh hours it is running. So how many hours in the year I run, I will charge depreciation accordingly. Machine hour kilometer has the same meaning. Depletion is on wasting assets, on mines, quarries, landfills, etc. Whatever are the depreciating asset, whatever are the depleting asset, you will capitalize, and based on the depletion, you will deplete that asset. Last is sum of year digit method. This method is not used in India, while in US this method is used. For example, the useful life of an asset is 5 years. So sum of year will calculate 15. 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 50. That is the denominator, and 5 by 15 is the numerator. 5 numerator year 1, 4 numerator year 2, 3 numerator year 3, 4 numerator year 4, and 5. So that way 5 by 15, 4 by 15, 3 by 15, 2 by 15, and 1 by 15. So sum of years is calculated and depreciation is charged using the sum of years method. So any questions? Any questions you have, you want to ask? Are you able to hear me? Any questions for me? No questions? Okay. Some of the methods are explained as below. Depreciation has been covered in detail under paper number 1. So depreciation is covered in detail. You will find some questions being given to you in paper number 1. Paper number 2 also has depreciation, but there the questions are more in practical nature. Fundamentals of accounting study number 3, and student may refer this chapter for detailed understanding. Fixed installment or straight line method. Just to confuse you, it may use the word what is fixed installment method. But don't get confused. Fixed installment means single line method. Okay. Under this method, a fixed or equal amount of depreciation that is charged at the end of every year. So every year the depreciation will be equal to a fixed amount, that is the asset useful life, whatever is the asset value, break it up into asset useful life. Per year you will charge that depreciation. Okay. During the economic life of the asset, until the value of the asset becomes zero and attains its scrap value. Under this method, the amount of depreciation remains the same. So depreciation every year under the straight line method is exactly the same. So I will explain you how the depreciation under SLM is computed. So let's say that let's say the life of asset is equal to 10 years. Cost of asset is equal to 1 lakh. So that means the asset is to be used for 10 years. So therein depreciation is equal to 1 lakh divided by 10 is equal to 10,000 every year. So depreciation will be equal to 10,000, second 10,000, third 10,000. This way it will go to 10th year is equal to 10,000. Is that okay? Have you understood the example? Yes, no. I also want to hear from you whether you're understanding the topic or not. हेलो। हाँ जी। कल जाना मैंने रात को। रात को। हाँ। मैं रात को जाना रात 11 बजे। हाँ। हाँ, हाँ। मेरे को पता है। 2 लड्डू के डब्बे लाने सबके लिए। हाँ, ठीक है। चलिए मेरे को मैं जाऊँगा पता करते हैं। हाँ, ठीक है। ओके। हाँ, ठीक, ठीक, ठीक। पता नहीं कितने का। वही मेरी क्लास चल रही है, बाद में बात करूँगा। Okay, screen is not visible to you? So I have deliberately wanted to open the Word document because I wanted to show you the example. So is the screen visible to you? Okay. Ex- Explain example page 90. Okay. So I will explain the example in the page 90, which is this page. Okay. Why is this method used? Because of its simplicity and because of its calculation is very simple. Under this method, a fixed or equal of depreciation is charged at the end of each year during the economic life of the asset till the value of the asset becomes zero or attains the scrap value. Under this method, the amount of depreciation remains the same. Features are a calculation is very simple. So if the asset is used for the full year, the amount is very easy to calculate. Okay. 10% into 1 lakh is equal to 10,000. It is suitable for those assets whose usage remain uniform every year. So it is suited for those assets whose usage is uniform throughout the year. But it is not suitable for those assets whose usage is very high for this year or very low this year. So those following the curves, you know, या very high होगा या very low होगा is very tough. So there the asset is depreciated according to the WDV method. Okay, but SLM is not suitable. The value of the asset under this method can be reduced to zero or to their estimated scrap value. So what you do is you reduce the value of the asset to zero or to the estimated scrap value. It is a method which is recognized by the Companies Act, but income tax is not adopting this. SLM is not adopted in, in that Income Tax Act. Income Tax Act is following the WDV method. Income tax is not following the state line method. The asset value keeps on decreasing, but the depreciation amount remains the same each year. This method does not provide on the interest on capital. The lacuna is so if I have invested a lakh of rupees or 10 lakh of rupees on this machinery. So the method of depreciation is charging the value of the asset to the to its whole value. Agar suppose if the machine value is 1 lakh or the machine value is 10 lakh, the depreciation is 1 lakh or rupees 10 lakh, but it is not including the interest which I am bearing. If I would have invested this lakh of rupees in some other purposes, I would have earned the interest. So this is not earning the interest. Okay. The method, the quantum of depreciation may be worked out using the following. So it has a depreciation. Depreciation is equal to original cost of asset upon estimated life in years. So आप divide कर देंगे, वो आएगा depreciation. जो depreciation आएगा वो ही charge करेंगे every year. Okay. So depreciation is the value of the asset divided by the useful life in years. Example उसका समझते हैं. How this example is done. A machinery costing rupees a machinery costing 1 मिनट दीजिएगा. A machinery costing 50,000 was purchased on 1st January 2018. The useful life of machinery is 4 years and the residual value is 10,000 after 4 years. So machinery minus the residual life divided by, आप divide करेंगे useful life से. तो 50 minus 10 is equal to 40,000 divided by 4, 10,000 every year you will charge the depreciation. Calculate the rate and the amount of depreciation. तो depreciation लिखा लेंगे. Depreciation is equal to 10,000. 50 minus 10, 40 by 4 is equal to 10,000. Or rate of depreciation 40,000. 10,000 by 50,000 into 100. Rate of depreciation 20% बनेगा. बट ये गलत बन रहा है, 25% बनेगा क्योंकि लाइफ में स्क्रैप भी लेते हैं. ओके ओके. कैन यू डू एग्जांपल 2? आपके सामने सॉल्व किया हुआ है, इसको सॉल्व करिए. यदि कोई क्वेश्चन है तो मेरे से पूछिए. इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस कैन आस्क मी. बट यू सॉल्व द क्वेश्चन नंबर 2.
मैंने तुमको बोला था कि मेरे को आधी चाय बना के दो। उनके चक्कर में ज्यादा होती है, आप ज्यादा होती क्यों है? मैंने बोला ना, उनकी दिक्कत है तो सही नहीं होती है। तो नहीं चाहिए आगे तो बनाना पड़ता। 3 बार बोला तुम्हारे को।
I'm giving you 10 minutes to solve this question. Okay. So are you able to solve this question? So yes or no? Okay. So give me 3 minutes, huh? Hello? Anjay? 3 घंटे में आना। हाँ। हाँ अभी वो जिम जा रही है। So a machine was purchased on 1st of October. That is what we have done. And 3,000 was spent on installation. तो मशीनरी में 50,000 भी आएगा और 3,000 भी आएगा. Depreciation is at the rate of 10%. तो 53,000 into 10% और अक्टूबर से लेके मार्च तक बनेगी. So 6 months will be depreciation will be 2650. So here they are creating the machinery account, but in reality, accumulated depreciation, which is a contra asset account, that is used. 2650, balance 5350, balance carry forward, depreciation for whole year 5300, balance carry down 45050, depreciation 5300, balance carry down 39,750, balance carry down 39,750. So that is a question for you. Okay. Show the machine account for 3 years. So is there any question or you are you able to solve this question? Okay. Are there any questions in this? Second is WDB method, also called as diminishing balance. To confuse the students, they will write down WDB method, or confuse the students, they will write down diminishing balance. So please note that WDB is diminishing balance. Second is to confuse the students, they will write down as fixed installment. To solve this, fixed installment is straight line method. Okay. Or diminishing balance, there the asset balance will reduce. So for example, machine value is 1 lakh, depreciation is 10%. So first year the depreciation will be 10,000. Second year the value will reduce to 90,000. Shall I make this table for you? So depreciation will be calculated as first year depreciation will be 10,000 and its written down value at the end of year 1 will be 90,000. In year 2, 90,000 will be equal to 9,000. And year 2 closing balance will be 81,000. In year 3, it will start off with 81,000. The depreciation will be 8,100. So this way they will write down the value of the asset. Okay. This method is suitable for those assets whose repair maintenance increase as they become old. Okay. The method eliminates a major part of the cost in the early years. So in the starting of years, the depreciation is the highest. But when it reaches day by day, it becomes old, the depreciation comes less. So it minimizes the impact of obsolescence. These method is recognized by income tax and by Companies Act. So those both the methods of the income tax and the Companies Act recognize this method. No fresh calculation of depreciation is required when additions are made. The method of depreciation under this method is slightly complicated compared to straight line method because here the depreciation amount is changing. The method of depreciation provided under this method will not be sufficient to replace the cost asset at the end of useful life. This method emphasizes on the historical cost of the asset. Okay, these two methods are done. Third is the machine hour method or units of production method. Suppose the life of the machine is 50,000 hours. Suppose the machine works for in this year 10,000 hours. A machine cost is 50,000. So 50,000 into 10,000 divided by 50,000. So amount of depreciation will be 10,000. So that way it will reduce or increase the depreciation depending upon the machine hour rate. Some fixed assets depreciate according to their usage. If the asset has a measurable life in terms of number of hours it is likely to be used or the number of output it is likely to produce, it can be depreciated according to that rate. For example, a computer printer might have an expected total output of 40,000 sheets. If it produces 10,000 sheets in a year, it can be said that it has used one fourth of that cost in that year. So is that clear to you all? I will explain the revaluation method. It is used in specifically gold shops or silver shops or metals which are traded online where the rate is available online. This method of calculating depreciation differs from straight line and reducing balance method, not being a calculation based on the original cost. So we will not consider the cost of the asset. We will revalue the asset as at year end, and this will be the depreciation. Instead, the method relies on an estimated cost being made in respect of a group of similar small value cost when preparing the financial statements. Okay, any questions? No. Thank you very much. Bye bye.